an Eagan, Illinois gift to the small businessman. Don's here. Thanks for coming, Don.
Well, good morning. We have to leave here as soon as I finish with these remarks. Woodward Governor is announcing in Rockford the expansion of their facilities with 1,000 new manufacturing jobs. So we're, you got to advance on that. About 20 years ago, in the late spring of 1992, I was at a coffee with three characters, Ken Kaler, Bill Dwyer, and Jim Rakow. Remember that, Ken?
Long time ago.
And they said, we want to talk to you about our priorities. I said, okay. So Ken said, my priority is roads. I said, all right. Bill Dwyer said, my priority is roads. And Jim Rakow said, my priority is roads. And I said, so you guys are interested in roads? I said, yes. And so it has been a real journey of faith in weaving our way through the porcupine-laden area called the U.S. House of Representatives. Brandy, you were the first one. And we finally, after 20 years, we see some progress. Isn't it amazing? The Route 47 project in Huntley, it's finally complete. The massive Rakow Road widening project through Crystal Lake, Lake of the Hills, is near completion. And after decades of talks and 15 years of political effort at the local, state, and federal levels, including the U.S. Postal Service, which took, we met with the Postmaster General specifically for that. There's going to be, about a week from now, the groundbreaking of the $80 million Western Bypass of Algonquin. You know, these were not easy tasks, but they were all a real joy. When the Secretary of Transportation, Raue Center, visited McHenry County November 13th of 2009, as we left the restaurant there where were we? Was it in
Lake in the Hills?
Lake of the Hills, on Randall Road. He said, you know, this is a remarkable county that you represent. He said, usually when I go to these events, I leave with a truck full of blueprints, plans, sketches, and books this thick. He said, this county came together and agreed on one project to present to the Secretary of Transportation. He said, how do you do that? I said, it's not me. It's the nature of the people of McHenry County that know how to work together to bring all the resources and to agree upon major asks. And that makes it a lot easier for the legislators when everybody is on board. And he said, I just can't believe that a county could be this well organized. And so we've been blessed with people like Ken Kaler and Mike Fine, Penn, Altoff. I can't even begin to name the people. But when you look back at the last 20 years, the precedents of people such as Jim Rakow and Bill Dwyer, you can still feel Bill's spirit in this, such an extraordinary individual. The first task that you gave me when I was sworn in January of 1993 was to change the Clean Air Amendments of 1990. Something called the employee commute option. You remember that. McHenry County led the way in changing a national law that allows collar counties the flexibilities to meet the Clean Air Act. And that was the first law that I co-sponsored. People said it couldn't be done, and yet we were able to do that working with the most liberal of all liberals on the other side of the aisle. It's an era that unfortunately seems to have passed. When people would sit down, put aside their personalities, their political persuasions, and take a look at what's good for the people that they represent. And that law was signed by President Clinton after 2 years of work. I thought that's the way Congress works, but unfortunately it doesn't. But we continue to move on. We lost for McHenry County in the redistricting, and you're going to be in good hands with Randy and Peter. And I lost my bid for re-election, which is all part of the electoral process. But one thing that I will never do is forget the kindness, the generosity, the decency of the people of McHenry County, whom I've had the honor and privilege of representing for the past 20 years. Thank you.